Got my eyes on the scoreboard, feeling the thrill. Moneyline show where I call for play still. Betting on the underdog, watching the odds rise. Smart choices, big wins, that's how we survive. Line shifting fast like the wind at my back. Reading the game, making my pick never lack. Feel the rush when the clock ticks, the tension mounts high. Moneyline show where every day can turn to sky. Moneyline show, feeling the heat, making smart picks, betting fate. Underdogs win, overdogs fall. Moneyline show, where dreams can be tall. Watching the crowd, cheering for the team. Moneyline show.
All right, let's just start. I'll play it in the background, though.
Coach Schumann, great intro. Great intro.
I'm like the Muzak. You know Muzak? Remember that?
97.9 Unity Radio. I don't know. Can you pick the singer? Does it just say like male pop singer? Is that how it works? Because I want to sing. Maybe I could get a gig doing that. Yeah.
We got to start making some picks every week here if we're going to stay with the theme of the music. You're saying we're making hot picks and you're winning cash.
What do you want to pick? Baseball games, or do you want to pick the NBA?
NBA coming up.
All right, pick the NBA.
Hockey playoffs. I mean,
okay.
What I can't wait to do is play Billy's Brave Brew again. That's my favorite name of any of the songs I have. Billy's Brave Brew.
So that's Coach Schumann, and the voice of reason is next to me. And Dave says, just say yes to just say yes to greatness. I like that. I say yes to greatness every day. And maybe you should too. So this is Moneyline, the best sports show in all of the 508.
Why would it be?
I'm your host, the best podcast and radio host in the U. Why are you laughing at that? Why are you laughing at that? I can't say that. That's my line.
Best show, the best podcast.
Of course it is.
It's like I used the word awesome and
phenomenal. Everything's phenomenal. Yeah. So I'm your host, Steve Cully. A lot to get to. A lot of good news. A lot of good news to go over. And Dave, I think we're going to start with what you brought up earlier, because I'd like to get Frank's take on it since he's such a big fan of the WNBA. There was an incident over the weekend involving Indiana Fever's Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Caitlin Clark tried to swipe for the ball and ended up fouling her. Reese fell to the ground. She got up and she wasn't very happy. The center for the Fever tried to intervene. Technical fouls were called on Caitlin Clark and her teammate, and I think Reese got a technical as well. As Reese was shooting field goals or free throws, she started to get heckled by hateful fan comments. This was the season opener. They packed in 17,000 people, Frank. 17,000 people for a WNBA game.
Yep.
So now the WNBA has launched an investigation because, you know, we have to be woke and nice to everyone, and you can't boo.
Well, supposedly they were doing some racial comments were made.
That's what was said.
Yeah. So you've got, you know, that I don't. What this is a great show. It's a great show to sell the product. Talk about the product.
You're right.
To have the product spread into more corners of this country, more media coverage, more of everything. Because bottom line, before last year,
they were dead in the water.
There was basically they were averaging 20 fans in the stands, whatever it may be. Maybe 25. But it's not a followable league.
Well, Frank, again, you won't watch the WWE.
I will not.
So
I won't watch it either.
You not say
I don't watch fantasy things. I watch reality. So basically, the WNBA is fantasy league.
So you're comparing the WNBA to the WWE, basically.
Listen,
fantasy,
you could take, and I mean, no disrespect on the women's level. Those women players are great against women, but you could take a group of a solid high school team.
I would,
and probably wreck through any WNBA team that could be out there.
When Dominic Tripp, when he visited me at UConn, he would challenge Diana Taurasi every time. He said, "I'll beat you 1-on-1."
Right. And did they ever go against each other?
No.
Diana was in fear.
Well, they were high and drunk half the time.
Sure.
But no, they never went against each other. To this day, Dom thinks he would have beaten her.
I just so to me, the sport has a place if you put it in a place, but as far as athletic ability to compare against what we normally watch on television, what the normal competition level is, it's difficult to watch. I can't watch a superstar like Angel Reese miss 12 layups in a game.
Well, she gets her own rebounds, though.
Anyone can lead the league in rebounding if they lead the league in lowest field goal percentage.
Believe me, I know.
I mean, honestly,
she's not a nice person either.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know her personally. I don't know. And again, I think a lot of it is for show. A lot of it is again, she wants to attract attention. She wants to be on a level.
She does.
I do think there's a discernible difference between Caitlin Clark and 99% of the players in the WNBA. She's an exceptional player for that league.
Marketable.
You can tell that by the fans in the stands. But bottom line, in watching the overall product, I'll try. I'll watch. It doesn't do anything for me.
Can I get you to try to watch WWE?
No.
Okay. Dave, so social media posts during Saturday's game said hateful remarks or noises were made towards Reese after the incident occurred. But it was Indiana's center, Aaliyah Boston, who kept them apart. Clark's foul was upgraded to a flagrant foul 1, and both Reese and Boston really received technical fouls. Boston was stunned when told after the game that she had a technical despite trying to diffuse the situation. So now, as Angel Reese is shooting her free throws, she's apparently being harassed and booed and, called certain things. And, it's inappropriate. We keep uplifting each other and speaking out on these things when it is needed. Was the quote of Dewana Bonner. She's in her 16th season in the WNBA, her first with the Fever. That's not what the players stand for, and it's not what the
what were they saying? Nice ass.
We don't know. I mean, of course,
loved your bikini shot.
But this is what I don't understand. She says, of course, we want a tough environment for opposing teams to play in, but basketball environment is where people can still enjoy the game. So I think this is completely blown out of proportion.
Well, I'd like to know what was said.
Nobody knows what was said.
Make a layup.
Even Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark after the game said it was no big deal. I mean, they said it's just part of the game. Nobody expected it to go as far as it did. I'm shocked that they're going to waste time, money, and resources investigating it, and I think it's completely ridiculous. Frank, do you obviously feel the same, right?
They're going to spend money. They don't have any money.
Yeah, they do. They're funded by the NBA.
The league's like $50 million in debt every year.
They are, but that's why they have the
and
NBA.
They're going to spend more money on what are they going to? Tell me how are they going to investigate this?
Maybe we'll go.
They
through
need to send. I know the guy to investigate it.
Who? Johnny Cochran. Who?
No.
Who?
It's like listen.
Send Billy the liquor guy in.
Not only God, why do you have to go there?
Not only will he find out who did it, but he'll have sex with at least 2 or 3 WNBA players.
WNBA players. We'll sit him in the section.
Oh my God!
As a fan, he'll sit in the section as a fan. What is wrong
with you? We're gonna send in Billy the liquor guy in Indiana.
Well, he's gonna sit in the section.
He's gonna come out with 2 old ladies from
a 70-year-old man.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna wear a MAGA hat in the stands, and he's gonna start yelling shit at Angel Reese. And
is that a vape? Do I see
He's gonna join in and see how many other people join in on it, and then he can finger him. There he is. That's the guy. That's the guy. That's the guy.
Well, listen, I compare it to, if you guys remember, the Duke volleyball situation against BYU.
Yes,
and Dave, I told you that's how I found Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy was the one that broke that story because he went through the film and could see and hear everything. And the BYU basketball players were right behind the Duke bench. And BYU had several African-American basketball players. So if someone was dropping N-bomb after N-bomb after N-bomb, someone on the basketball team would have heard it, and I don't think they would have let it go. So that was a very
I think send Billy the liquor guy in there.
You know what? I'll text him.
I'll
send him a text if he wants to go to Indiana.
Well, he's great with women. There's a lot of women.
He is great with women. Young women too.
Stands. He could get to the bottom of it.
He can write up citations.
He can write up citations
right there, right on the spot. Citation for heckling. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's enough of that.
I think it'll be phenomenal. That's episode 2. Billy the Liquor Guy saves the WNBA.
You just ruined everything for me. The second big news of the week. We'll start with Frank. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred just took Pete Rose off the ineligible list.
Wow.
Along with the 1919 Black Sox, including shoeless Joe Jackson. You didn't know this, Dave?
Wow. No, did not.
And his argument was they were banned for baseball for life. Their life is now over. They're dead. Therefore, they serve their sentence and are eligible again.
Way to celebrate them.
So that's how he put the argument and why he reinstated them.
That's sad, I think.
Yeah. So we're waiting for the future deaths of McGuire, Bonds,
Clemens,
Sosa. We're waiting for these guys to die, and then they'll all have their moment in the sun. While they're 6 feet under.
They're not banned though. I mean, they're technically not banned from baseball. They're just shunned. I guess
they're blacklisted. They're not going to be. They're not going to be anything put up like that. And those guys, they should be. They should be eligible.
I agree too. But Pete Rose's daughter had a meeting with Manfred, I guess, that made impact on him. Pete Rose died in September. He was 83.
Yeah.
He was very close to reinstatement in 2015. That's when he did his application. And
the commissioner's from Rome, New York.
Manfred is?
Yeah, he's from here. He's from Rome, New York.
Well, that's why he's a douchebag, though.
Yeah.
Well, Manfred basically said in 2015 that he did not believe Pete was remorseful, learned his lesson, gave a shit. So he denied his application be reinstated.
It's a garbage move.
I don't think. I think they should have reinstated him.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of people that don't, but I think they.
The problem is that. I mean, he did the worst thing possible, which is betting on his own team.
Yeah, but he bet on them to win.
I understand that, but when you're involving the
and he was a player coach at the time,
right? You have direct input on that.
Sure,
yeah. That's the worst possible way of betting. If you're just betting on games and you're betting on the Yankees and the Mets, and you're a Reds coach, all right, whatever. I understand you can't bet. That's the rule, but not crazy. But betting on his own team in through there, that's kind of what threw a wrench in it. And then his whole arrogance throughout his lifetime.
Well, he always thought he was going to get reinstated.
Right.
He never anticipated that it would last as long as it did.
Right. Exactly.
He didn't think it was that serious.
Exactly. But I just think it's a douchebag move, realistically, and I'm glad it's happening.
Did he bet on baseball or that he got reinstated?
No, that he got reinstated to be able to be eligible to vote.
You think that's a douchebag move?
No. No, excuse me, that he got banned, but I think it's a douchebag move now that he reinstates him.
Yeah,
it's like an after the fact thing. I mean,
well,
the whole idea of going into a hall is to be able to have that day of commemoration, to be able to have that honor, to be able to have that, and it never fell through for this guy. because I think there was such a and who was the commissioner at the time when it
Bud
was
Selig.
No.
Oh, the guy that initially suspended
Bart Giamatti.
He died like 2 days after it happened.
Yeah, but what my thing is that there was such a grudge from the commissioner's office towards Pete Rose because Pete wouldn't suck their balls.
Yes, 100%.
You know what I mean? If he just went in there and said, I apologize to everyone and I'm totally wrong. And
he came out and admitted it was true, and then he went, he's gone back and forth.
Right.
But Pete, now he doesn't remember.
But that's what made Pete Rose Pete Rose. I mean, he's an arrogant guy. He's a confident guy.
I don't think he's not going to arrogant. He's Charlie Hustle. He played hard.
But he's always been an arrogant dude. Always.
Really?
Yes.
You think Pete Rose was arrogant?
Absolutely, and the way that he talked to reporters, the way that he talked to
he didn't like
involved in baseball. I'm just telling you right now. But that's part of what makes players great.
Well, you have to have confidence.
Exactly. But I just think it's a douchebag move by the. I'm happy it's happening, but it's after the fact.
Yeah,
it sort of takes the whole. It takes the whole fire out of it. I mean, what it does makes baseball look bad. It doesn't make baseball look good.
Well, his justification makes sense. He was banned for life. His life is now over.
Therefore, baseball killed him?
No, but
the commissioner's office killed Pete Rose.
He was banned for life.
Yeah.
He's dead now.
Yeah, they killed him.
He served the sentence.
They killed him. They took the life right out of him. If they'd have put him in the Hall of Fame or had him at least you know what? After so many years, Pete, we welcome you back. We understand it was a mistake.
I agree. I think they should have.
And maybe the guy is still alive today. He died because the commissioner's office strangled him to death.
We don't know that.
Sure we do.
You're making unfair allegations.
So does everybody else. Who cares?
You could be sued for defamation.
Joe Biden is totally competent. Remember Joe Scarborough? F you if you don't believe that Joe Biden is
Dave, I know you're not really a baseball guy, but do you have any thoughts on this besides a one-word answer or not really?
I do have I think it's a shame that there wasn't a better opportunity for people to I don't know how
be
much
inducted
to him, but to be inducted. I think his on the field stuff speaks for himself. I think there are flat out criminals that are in the different Hall of Fames. Right. So
OJ,
there you go. Good example.
OJ, right. You know,
he didn't kill anybody. Gambling is now. Listen, gambling's. You're not allowed to gamble on your team.
He just hurt himself.
Yeah, I mean that part was stupid. Was
OJ removed from the Hall of Fame?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, he's still in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like the way I kind of look at it is like Steve McMichael. They voted him in.
Yeah.
They knew that he didn't have much time left.
Right.
And he got the greatest honor of his life. And he got to experience that before he died.
Right.
Pete Rose never did. So I think that's unfair. I think the crime, there's DraftKings now. You can bet on games during the games. Reggie Bush got his Heisman Trophy back. I think that Pete Rose definitely should be in the Hall of Fame. No one's going to come close to touching his hit record. And he won championships with the Big Red Machine, I think with the Phillies as well. So, and then if you look at the 1919 Black Sox scandal, that's even worse in my opinion. Shoeless Joe Jackson died in 1951. So he technically should have been eligible starting then. And he allegedly was not part of the take, the throwing the series. I don't know, Dave, if you're familiar with that at all.
Shoeless Joe, I am. Yeah, I watched the Black. What was the great movie?
Well, there was Field of Dreams. There was a documentary on it. 8 Men Down, I think it was.
8 Men Out.
No, that.
What's that?
8 Men Out.
8 Men Out. That was it. That's the movie I saw. So my thoughts on this too. Throwing the World Series is
well, I think that's.
But they were not.
There's nothing worse.
Any money back then.
No, they weren't. Not like today.
Okay,
no.
So it was terrible. They were shamed for a long time. I think the guys that the team should never get in I think they should evaluate each person case by case, like you were saying. Shoeless Joe wasn't necessarily a vote. I don't know,
Well, they never found evidence that tied him.
Shoeless Joe was never in on it. Remember when the guy couldn't read or write?
He was illiterate.
Okay, he was illiterate.
His
number
wife
one.
used to sign his heart. How'd you know that?
I listen.
Okay,
Steve, I'm the voice of reason.
Yeah, that's true.
Bottom line, he was illiterate.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And realistically, he never ever consented into it, because if you look at it, if you're throwing a World Series,
he played great.
You're not batting 380 in the World Series. Or whatever,
he hit a home run.
You're not. Yeah, you're not. So you're not. So, but for him to be bundled up with everyone else, I mean, I think that's a travesty.
Yeah, and there was one player who I think said that he was involved, and that's what caused it. There was another player who got banned just because he knew about it and didn't say anything. So I think that
at the time they were trying to make a point to him. They're trying to make a statement, because whether they didn't get paid, they didn't get paid a lot of money or not, but there were probably a lot of people betting on that. And
no, the bets swing huge.
Yeah, and that's when it was
the Reds.
The World Series was like a 9-game, nine-game World Series. I think,
yeah, they won in game 8. That was the victory. But I don't know if Shoeless Joe has any relatives left, but I hope he gets into. But the soonest that Pete Rose,
Bo Jackson, I think Bo Jackson is one of his long lost relatives.
Oh,
no,
I don't. Okay. So the soonest that Pete Rose can get in is 2027. Do you think that he will be getting in
automatically?
Really?
Yeah.
First year of eligibility.
First year eligibility. Why not? Get it over with.
Dave?
He's going to get it at some point. Get it over with.
Dave?
Cave.
I know you're not paying attention. So
no, I am. So when do I think he'll get in? I think.
Do you think he'll get in on the first try or no?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The other big news of the day
for you.
I don't. What did you just say, Dave?
I said, was it not controversial enough for you? Who has Moneyline?
The other big news of the day, the San Francisco 49ers signed Brock Purdy to a record contract extension. I believe this was the final year of his rookie deal. And they didn't want negotiations to drag out as they had in the past with other free agents, pending free agents. So they got this done. They gave him a truck. They backed the Brinks truck up right to his house.
$256 million, I think it was.
The Brinks truck went right to his house.
5 years, and fully guaranteed.
Yes,
he has the best agent.
The Deshaun Watson deal.
He has the best agent in the world. Whoever it is, it's
I thought it was Rosenhaus, but I'll double check it. But so a couple things.
Kyle Strongen.
Okay, a couple things about this.
Why don't you ever just check like on the internet before you?
Because I'm trying to host the radio show, Dave. I'm sorry. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough to check things and look things up and go on Wikipedia and host a radio show at the same time. I'm sorry. So,
but you're the best podcaster of all time.
You know what, Dave? I knew that you were going to do this to me tonight. I could tell this morning with your behavior and your antics and the cloning that this was going to happen. And
in all of Worcester, of Massachusetts.
When you and Frank get together, I lose
Maine.
Control. I have no control.
All 5 people in Maine are listening.
Yes.
The public access radio.
That's it.
You know what? Yeah, you and Frank. Putting you two together was like just a terrible idea.
It's the Ernie and Bernie show. Hello, hi Ernie. Is this playing? Yep. I can see this going on right now. Unity Radio playing this music.
Ernie plays jazz. Ernie plays jazz. Oh my God.
This is Billy sung in.
So Brock Purdy getting paid.
Killed it.
He's had good numbers, but he's obviously had a ton of talent around him.
Right.
He was drafted the same year as Trey Lance. Jimmy Garoppolo was the starting quarterback, led them to the playoffs or Super Bowl, I can't remember, got hurt. Purdy comes in, I think it was week 10 or 12, does fantastic. They have a good playoff run, and they ended up losing, but he never relinquished the job. And they got rid of Garoppolo. Trey Lance got traded. Is Brock Purdy a franchise quarterback worthy of a Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson?
He is now. He got paid.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, is that what he's worthy of? He's a facilitator more than anything. Like, well, he can't put the game on his back to win.
You don't know that yet. You may know more this year. I mean, granted, McCaffrey is still there, but Debo's gone.
Yep.
So
they lost a lot of guys. They
lack some depth on both sides of the ball. So now let's see what he can do with Kittle and Ayuk.
Yeah.
I mean, and now they got to dig up some people. So there's an opportunity for him to come out and shine and look better. I think it's these signings of this magnitude is just
outrageous.
Well, it's a fear. It's a fear by a general manager and an owner
of losing
out on a talent, not being able to replace that immediately.
Yes.
Right. So you may have a 2-year window before you can find someone to replace a guy like Purdy, even if Purdy's considered a top 10 or 15 quarterback. There's just not enough guarantees out there at the quarterback position to be able to gamble as much as at other positions. You know what I mean? You can always hide. You can hide other positions. You can't hide the quarterback position.
No,
that's got the target on his back.
Dave knows that.
Right. They're always looking at him. He's the guy that's got to produce, right? His numbers are more valid than any other number on the team.
Absolutely.
So it's a matter of, you're going to pay the guy. He's got to shine through right now, and they're afraid to lose him.
Dave, Brock Purdy, guaranteed money, $260, highest paid player. Do you think do you put him in the top 5 of NFL quarterbacks right now? Would you rank him in the top 5?
Brock Purdy? Let me think.
I think he's more of a facilitator.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
He's not top 5.
I know you're right. But he's ahead of Brock. I don't know.
It's Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen.
Who else we got?
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jake Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Maybe Herbert.
Herbert
could be up there.
They're all
I like CJ Stroud. I mean, I think
CJ Stroud.
He hasn't had enough.
Excellent. Dak Prescott.
Yeah. Dak Prescott.
I think the bottom line is that the quarterback should just get paid a lot of money, and
that's one guy
do with that. Yeah,
taking up $60 million of your salary cap. That's just
man,
God.
That's just what I think it is.
But that's sports in general. Look at the Celtics. The Celtics signed Jaylen Brown.
Yeah,
to $50 million a year.
Well, basketball's outrageous.
The cap is $154. They have a luxury tax, but the cap is $154.
But there's only 12 guys on a basketball.
But he's 30% of the team.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you got Jason Tatum, who's making like $34 million or $35 million a year.
Jesus.
So I mean,
what does that break down after 82 games? You're getting paid a lot of money per game.
If you're getting
a couple $100,000 per game,
more than that. Yeah, more than that. If you're making $50 million a year and you got 82 regular season games, you're getting paid about $700,000 a game.
Jesus, wow. So your prediction for the San Francisco 49ers, the AFC West, not necessarily a tough division.
No.
Seattle's going to have Sam Darnold. They could be great. Who knows? They were 14-2 last year.
Right.
San Francisco was 6-10. San
Francisco will be better.
The Rams were good. Do you think the 49ers make the playoffs?
I do. I would say yeah. At this point right now, I would say yes, without a doubt.
Coach, greatness?
Yeah. 49ers? They're definitely gonna make the playoffs. I mean,
they're definitely gonna make the. You say it
barring an injury. I mean,
you say it like I just asked a stupid question.
But barring Christian McCaffrey going down again, barring one of their stars going down. But McCaffrey, that plays a big role, man. If that dude can't play,
McCaffrey's everything.
Right. That's a tough thing to ask a team to scale in. Yeah. I mean, they had a couple other backs that took this. Gonzalez kid, I think, was at tail a little while. Then they had the Warren was at tail for a little while, and they produce, but not the way McCaffrey does. So barring a McCaffrey injury, I say yes.
Dave, I really didn't appreciate your tone when you answered my question. You answered my question like I asked a dumb question. And I didn't think it was stupid. I thought it was very intelligent, just so you know.
Sure.
The other news in the NFL this week.
Sure.
Yeah, I know you're paying attention. I don't know what you're watching, but it's not us. So this completely angered me and blew my mind. The Cincinnati football Bengals call Trey Hendrickson, tell him, hey, you need to come to the office. And he lives in Florida. Hendrickson is negotiating a long-term deal. He's on the final year of his contract. Now, he signed a 2-year short-term extension under the promise that he would receive a long-term extension and be paid afterwards. Trey Hendrickson led the NFL in sacks, 17.5 sacks. Great guy, great teammate, doesn't cause drama, very good with reporters. He's a leader, just everything you want in a teammate. He goes to the Bengals, and I'm sure he was expecting his new contract offer. He gets there, the front office is there, Zach Taylor, the head coach, is there, and he was informed that, hey, Trey, if you happen to miss any of minicamp, you are going to be fined like everyone else. Trey Hendrickson proceeded to get in his golf cart, and a guy who rarely talks to the media stopped and had an impromptu press conference on his golf cart. And he just was baffled by the whole situation, the lack of communication. He just feels unappreciated, and he is going to hold out the season if he doesn't get a new contract.
Should.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to ask. Are the Cincinnati Bengals, I mean, they spent a fortune and paid Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. They would not pay Trey Hendrickson. If you look at his salary, but people complain about his age because I think he's 30, and the guys that make more money than him are older or of the same age. So I don't think age can be a factor.
Right.
Are the Bengals just that inept of an organization that they would do this to this man?
Well,
a leader of their team?
It sounds like it right off the bat, because bottom line, he's your best defensive player, and realistically, your defense is horrible.
Yeah.
The Bengals defense all year, I mean, they had a little rally late in the season, but their defense was atrocious. So you got a guy that, first of all, edge rushers are at a premium.
Exactly.
So he's going to get paid no matter what. If he goes to another team, he's going to get paid.
Yep.
So why would you not keep your best player, who's an edge rusher and who led the league?
Defense is bad.
On defense is terrible. He led the league in sacks.
Well, the Bengals argument is his age, and he doesn't play the run well.
All right, great. So
he still had
find me an edge rusher that plays the run fantastically.
Please. Micah Parsons does, I think.
No.
Julius Peppers.
They run right at him. Julius Peppers. He's been released. This is his third time he's been released.
He's been in the league for a while.
Yeah, they don't. No. Find me a rush.
Julius Peppers is still in the NFL.
Yeah, he was released by the Browns.
Yep.
Wow.
Last week.
So find me to name me an edge rusher.
Right. Okay.
That can play the run as well as just getting up the field and getting to the quarterback. You know why? They don't want to play the run anymore. They make all the money when they have sacks. They don't make money for tackles.
The league is all passing.
Exactly.
So the Bengals handled the situation horribly. Hendrickson is going to hold out. Dave, do you think that Hendrickson will get a contract extension? Do you think he will get paid what he's worth or close to it? Or do you think that the Bengals force him to play out the final year of his contract, which basically means he's going to sit out, and that'll be the end of it?
I don't think he's going to sit out the whole season. I think they're going to give him a contract. I think they'll realize their mistake.
I don't know how much cap room they have, but yeah.
I mean, I don't know why. I think Frank's point's pretty good on this. Is that I don't know why they would alienate him like that.
He's a good guy. He doesn't cause problems. He makes plays.
Yeah.
Like he I feel like he was lied to. The organization took advantage of a good guy, lied to him.
Yeah.
Said we're going to pay you, and then they bring him to the office. Said, "Oh, you don't come to minicamp. You're fine."
Bengals are going to have 18 million in cap space.
That's all they have right now.
18 million.
Oh, so yeah, they don't have enough money to do much. They're going to have to definitely make some moves. Because I mean, between Burrow, Chase, and Higgins,
sure,
I mean, that's like $100 million.
They're eating up probably a third of the cap.
Yeah. So Dave thinks he's going to get a deal. What about you? Voice of reason.
I don't know. I mean, I hope they come to their senses. If not, trade him. Trade him. I don't know if he has a no trade clause or. If
I believe he does.
Yeah, but if he wants out, if he's holding out, he wants out.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think he likes Cincinnati, but I mean, if they're not going to pay him, trade him.
I don't think anyone likes Cincinnati, to be honest.
Listen, I know a team that would take him right away. Washington.
Yeah,
they need an edge rusher. They have cap space.
Hold on one second. Tyler King. Okay. The other thing I wanted to ask you was about Coach Nick Sirianni. He got a contract extension.
Yeah.
Very early into his contract. I was kind of surprised by that, but he, back-to-back Super Bowls.
Has Philadelphia ever stuck it to any of their players or coaches?
Buddy Ryan.
Yeah, but Buddy caused his own
Cunningham.
demise. Randall Cunningham, they stuck it to Randall? Like they
dumped him. I mean,
but I'm just saying. To me, Philly. I mean, signing Barkley,
Chip Kelly.
Chip Kelly was terrible.
They fired him after a year.
Yeah, but that's not sticking it to somebody. If you stink, you got to go. I'm just saying to the guys that produce.
Javon Curse, I think they stuck it to.
Yeah, I mean, you may be right on that one right there. You may, but I mean, I don't see it happening often in Philadelphia. I think Philadelphia, they take care of their own. If they have been, yeah. If you're a proven player and winner, they're going to take care of you. It's like Kansas City too. Kansas City, if you're a proven player and you're a winner, they're going to take care of you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with that. I was just surprised that he got a multi-year extension.
Yeah.
So quickly into his contract. Dave, what did you think?
Repeat that part again. I missed that.
Here we go. Nick Sirianni got a contract extension, and
what was the amount though?
I will check that. He got a multi-year extension. Okay. It does not.
Are there any cheesesteaks involved?
It does not list it does not list the amount of money. The amount of money.
I think just Sirianni has done a wonderful job and deserves an extension.
Yeah. He won a Super Bowl. What more can he do?
No, I know.
And this was from, remember, he was teetering on the fence of being fired.
Yeah,
I did always think that was a little.
Wait, he was this year?
Yeah, beginning of the year.
Going
into the season, beginning of the year, lost one early, and they're like, oh my God, here we go again. We don't want a replay of last season. And we think that, and Nick is teetering. Nick's got to prove this, and Nick's got to prove that. They won a Super Bowl.
No, they did. They did. Absolutely. No, I agree wholeheartedly with that. To get a contract extension so short into the contract.
Right.
That was surprising.
No, that's good. That's a good move.
The other lingering question, I'll start with you, Dave, since you don't pay attention. Why
have I not answered every question?
You have, but I can tell you're watching something and it's irritating me. Why do you think the Atlanta Falcons
have not screen above my computer? I don't like to look at the computer.
I know Frank's watching it too. Why do you think the Falcons have not traded Kirk Cousins? He's going to be $180 million backup. He got a $10 million extension already. I mean, a bonus already. Like, why would they do this? Do you think they should keep him in case Penix gets hurt or whatever?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think that he's getting what, $18 million you said a year?
No. His contract is worth $180 million.
Over how many years?
I think he's got 4 years left.
Jesus, $40 million to be a backup.
Let me just I'll double check the numbers on that.
Well, because they're not paying Penix, so it doesn't matter.
He's scheduled to learn. He's going to earn $27.5 million, fully guaranteed.
Flacco's got to be pissed. He's like, I'm a backup. I'm getting just a few mil.
They signed Cousins for $100 million 14 months ago.
Jeez.
And so that happened. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's another one of my issues. But
what's that?
Well, I think the contract structure in the NFL is horrible. If you're a rookie, you have to sign for 4 years and an option for a fifth. The average NFL career is 3.3 years. So by the time guys hit free agency, they can get franchised. And by the time they're at that point, they're at an age where teams aren't willing always to invest in them. So I think they get screwed. I think they should get 3 years and be able to hit free agency. I think realistically, they end up with 6 years sometimes. Because the 4 years, the option, and then they get franchised. And Kirk Cousins is one of the few that got franchised twice.
Mm.
So, yeah, I just think NFL contracts are completely one-sided and BS.
Well, if you're getting franchised, you're making top dollar.
No, it's not top dollar. It's
it is.
top 10%.
No, yeah, okay. So you mean top 10%. What's? I mean, you can't complain on that.
I just think it's unfair. I think you let them hit free agency. I think the league has too much control.
The league has too much control.
Yeah, to force rookies to sign basically 5-year contracts, it's too long. Not when the average lifespan in the league is 3.3 years. The last thing I wanted to ask Dave, we talked about it earlier. Frank, college football is apparently looking to go to adding practices in the spring. It's going to be like an OTA model. You will have your 15 practices, one of them being the spring game, and then 7 OTAs afterwards with a 3-week break, I believe, in between, something like that.
Well, what was the date they were going to do that?
It wouldn't start until next year.
No. Dates. I mean, as far as spring practice, is going to be consistent.
Well, it's different for everyone when they start. Yeah. Like Randy used to do it super early because he just wanted to get it over.
They should make that consistent.
It's tough because of the weather and everything.
No, because of the transfer portal.
Yeah, well, that's why I think they should have one transfer portal and it should just be after the season.
But if they don't have one transfer portal.
No, if they have 2, then it screws everything up. Yes. But essentially, Coach Frank, every year these college teams have so much turnover. They're basically a new team.
Correct.
They're basically an NFL team.
Correct.
We were looking at the UConn roster. There's 32 new players. It's so outrageous that this is happening. They're basically turning into the NFL. They have the TV money now with the NIL money. Yeah. Now we're adding practices. The coaches can work with players all summer. Right. I mean, when is it going to end, or is it just going to get worse?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to get worse. I really do.
I agree. No one's going to regulate it.
I don't see a stop to it. I know that coaches. I mean,
I wouldn't.
When you see guys that say they don't want to coach anymore,
no, because there's no time off.
Right. I mean, when you see that, you're talking about guys that are have been dedicated to the sport for their lives, and they said they've had enough. And I don't think it's going to get any better. I think it's going to be worse.
Dave?
Transfer portal? I mean,
no, not talking about the transfer portal. The OTAs possibly being added on to spring practice to make it 21 practices. The 15 in pads, the 7 would be like OTAs in the NFL with a 3-week difference.
So they could develop their guys more?
Yes, it's because they say they need more time.
But if they have a spring transfer portal, what does it matter?
Well, again, I mean, not everyone loses a lot of guys in the spring transfer portal, but they do. There's 4,500 guys in it right now. I do agree with that. They have to cut it to one transfer portal. And I maybe you do need OTAs. I just think it's excessive.
I mean, listen, if you're paying guys,
they are correct.
I don't see any issue with that. But the only thing I do, as a former player, I fucking hated spring ball.
I did too. It was a waste of time.
I thought it was
You never accomplished anything.
Well, I mean, you learn stuff. Like,
no, you don't. Not really.
You basically beat your head into the other person.
They do, yeah. They beat the crap out of you. Yes, 100%.
And I just didn't like that.
It's just busy work.
I just thought it was like the coach's opportunity to pit guys against each other. And I'm the wrong guy to ask on this stuff.
No, you're right. That is spring practice. I agree with you.
My friends who are coaches that are like, all right, we're gonna get.
I hate spring practice. I hated it. It was a waste of time and whatever. Okay.
I think there was only. I don't think I only got to. I didn't even know if I got through a spring practice without an injury. I think every spring practice something happened.
Yeah, because you go right from winter workouts in the spring practice. It's tough.
I think it's
you get
dumb.
no rest.
I think it's dumb.
All right.
But
well,
anyway, that's that. I think you should do spring work. I don't think you shouldn't do.
No, I do. Work. I do. It doesn't have to be full pads and.
I don't. I mean,
I agree.
They have to. The problem is they want to find out who the starters are for this going into the season, and they want to find out especially who's the quarterback for the season.
In those situations,
with the transfer portal, you don't even know anymore. So
that's the problem. Yeah,
I mean, I'm just trying to think. Like
they want the extra time.
If you add 7 more, so you said 7 more practices, 22 practices,
but not practices. They're just OTAs.
Non-padded. The whole thing OTAs.
I agree, and most teams do. They go lighter in the spring, but we'll see how it shakes out.
I would be curious to hear what college coaches think of.
Yeah, well, no, they were the ones who wanted it. They said we need more time with the kids because there's so much turnover.
Here's what college coaches want. This is just the truth. They just
don't want to recruit.
They just want more time to be able to do what they think their job is.
Install more shit that they don't use.
Install more shit they don't use.
I hate that. I hate that.
Prove that they're coaches. They're getting paid a lot of money at the highest level, not the lower levels, but the highest level.
No, you're right. It's 7 figures.
It's an opportunity to show what you could do. I view coaching as like, listen, there's a lot of great guys that are coaches. Most of those guys are high school coaches and maybe D3 coaches, the
college coaches now.
When you get to the higher level, dude, it's no different to me. It's no different than Wall Street.
Okay? I was going to say the same thing.
That's my equate to it. Yeah. And Wall Street, your job is to
cutthroat. Yep.
To develop as much as you can to get to the next level financially, and to become the best at what you're doing. And no matter where you got to go to do that, to build your resume and to build your financial background, and you have to do well with clients, just like you do with football. You have to make players better in the time you're with them. Same thing as you make people money, you're going to move up, right? So, but it's cutthroat, man, and I just think that's what college football is. You know what I mean? Like I don't see it. I think NFL is different. It
is. The NFL's improved. College football's gone backwards.
I used to love in college. We do the installs. We do all the board work and the video, and then the install in the week.
Yeah.
And it's like week 3, week 4, week 5. We still haven't used this fucking thing. Week 10. Hey, coach, we're down by 18. It's in the 3rd. Are we going to use one of these fucking plays?
No. Why would we?
That we've been storing up in the bank.
No. They were saving it for a rainy day.
Horrible.
All right. Well, this was a banner money line.
Wait a minute. Stop. Give us. We got NBA conference finals coming up right now, right? So we have Minnesota and Oklahoma City.
I know. I saw that.
And we have New York, the New York Knicks, against the Indiana Pacers. They're on a great run. Give me a opening game prediction. Game 1.
I'm going with the Knicks.
Knicks at home. Okay, Dave. Knicks at home.
I like the Knicks. I think they're good.
I do too. I'm going to say Indiana at home. We'll get Indiana at New York. We'll win game 1. I think the Knicks will win the series. I want the Knicks to win the series. I want the Knicks to get in the finals. I want all that exuberance and craziness in New York. I think it's fantastic for the state. How about Minnesota and Oklahoma City? Now, Oklahoma City is fantastic. So, they're at OKC game 1. Dave, what do you say?
All right. Well, who's the stars of OKC? I'm not too familiar.
OKC, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is probably going to be the MVP this year.
Okay.
He's their guard and basically their star. Chet Holmgren, the 7 foot, 190-pound guy. Remember him? He was a high school and 1 year sensation out at where was he in the West Coast there? Played for Gonzaga one year, and then he left.
Yeah, like Adam Morris.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So Lou Dort, they've got a Williams. They've got a bunch of players. They're just very good. Alex Caruso was on that team and playing very well.
Yeah, I'm going with Minnesota.
You're going Minnesota at OKC game 1.
Yep.
Is Minnesota
they're going to be
Giannis?
Minnesota's Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert. I'm trying to name a couple of guys.
Milwaukee. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards. I love Anthony Edwards.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Oklahoma City.
I'm taking Oklahoma City.
I'm actually rooting for Minnesota. I'd like to see. Even though I hate the city of Minnesota.
Well, they have a nice mall.
Yeah.
So.
And I want to fill
wait,
you
hold
in.
on. Have you seen the mall pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, the riots, the 300 people storming the mall. Was that in Jersey?
That one.
That was in Jersey.
We'll talk about it on Rebel Republic.
All right, wait a minute.
So, we got to get going.
Yeah, I know, but let's fill
Why? What is there?
Ticket prices at Madison Square Garden for Wednesday's game.
Yeah, they're going to be
down on the floor. Yeah. Down on the floor. If you want to be in the VIP section, $84,000 a ticket.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's about right.
Steve, how come you want to get going? I thought you wanted the show to be good.
So because Tyler can come on Rebel Republic, he's harassing
up in the rafters at MSG, almost $800 to sit against the wall.
And in
the nosebleeds.
I agree.
That's incredible,
isn't it?
Great job, guys. Great job. So, Voice of Reason. Yep. Oh yeah, here we go. Bring it home. I'm Steve Kelly. This has been 97.9 Unity Radio Moneyline. I'm the best podcast host in the universe. Remember, when life gives you lemons, don't make lemonade. Just snort some blow off of Billy's balls.
My back.